What's going on, everybody? I had a request for that kind of like e-guitar sounds. It's clearly not like a real guitar. It's something that I use a lot. Well, when I want guitars in my tracks, this is the sound that I use, and it's actually made in Silent. So you can do it in any like modern synth. You have to be able to assign an envelope to some certain parameter, which you may not be able to do. I'm thinking like something like Diva. I'm not really sure how you would do it there, though. Maybe you can. But if you have Silent, Dune, Serum, any kind of like modern synth, you can make this sound. So by the end of this, we're gonna have something that sounds like this. So yeah, so if you don't have a keyboard with a pitch wheel, you can actually a workaround is that you can um, just automate the pitch wheel within whatever synth you're using. So I have a macro. I actually have a keyboard with it now, so I don't need to do that because it is kind of annoying to make it sound like natural. But it's something that you can do. So let's get going. First thing we're going to do is fire up a silent instance, and we're going to initialize the patch so we get this lovely sound. Turn the polyphony down to 1. And then what we're going to do is start with our envelope. So we're going to bring the decay up to about 7.9. And these values don't have to be exact as always, but this is just what I had. We'll bring the sustain down to 3.4. And we will turn the release up to about 3.2. Now you can mess with the release, depends on like what you're playing. There's times if I have a longer pieces, I'll turn the release up, or if I'm doing like shorter, kind of like solo staccato notes, I'll bring it down. But that's up to you. So for right now, we'll leave this at 3.2. I'm going to have two voices. It's going to be a saw wave. I'm going to turn the retrig off. I'm going to bring the detune to about 2.6. And I'm going to bring it down an octave. So now we have this. Oh yeah, sounding crazy. This next part you need to do on part B because you're going to have to put an envelope on the volume of this next sound because you don't want a ton of it. So this is why you need a more modern synth to be able to do something like this. So for part 2, what we're going to do is we are going to turn this all the way down, and we just want a little bit of decay, so about 3.6. This is going to be a saw wave, but we're going to keep the retrig on, and we are going to turn this up an octave and down 3 steps. So this is going to sound a little weird. What this part is doing is simulating that kind of like that like harmonic of like the pick hitting the strings, that kind of like chunk sound. But we don't want a ton of it, so I'm gonna have to turn this down. Did like 0.8. Something very low. Okay, if I just solo this, it's just that little piece. Now what you need to do is you need to go to an envelope. You can use 1 or 2. We need to modulate the volume of B with this envelope. So I'm going to turn the amount up to about 4. Turn all this down and turn the decay to about 1.7. So now we have this. See, we have that. You could also add little chords if you want. Hey, now we're getting somewhere, right? For the pitch bend, I turn it down to 2. Just all right. So this sound on its own is pretty decent, but we want a guitar. So there's a couple ways you could do this. You could run it just through any amp simulator. what I have is, or I downloaded is this Insta GTR. This is awesome because it's not only is it free, it's like you turn it on and you dial in the knob and you dial in the amount. So if we start with something like this, and now we're getting somewhere. But obviously, it is some synthwave. You got to have a little delay. So any delay that you want, I just use ping pong. And a little compressor to bring up the delay as well as the sound, but it's not a ton. Just bring it a little bit down, catching some peaks. And so that's it. As far as EQing, I will say this is kind of a pain to kind of fit in a mix. I would add some reverb and I would EQ it, but that's going to depend on what else is going on in your song. So yeah, definitely check out. This is Insta GTR. I'll try to find a link and put it in the description for you to get it. But yeah, it's a pretty simple sound. Again, just saw waves, and it's really the way you process it. Because again, if I take this off and we're just left with this, take off the chorus. That sounds terrible. But now we add some effects. We're doing pretty good. So that's it. If you're watching this today, Happy New Year, everybody. If you're watching this after today, hope you had a Happy New Year. And I will check you later. Again, as always, leave any comments about any requests, any more questions. Hit me up, follow me on Twitter. I'll be posting stuff. And yeah, check out my album, The Revenant, if you haven't already. Hot jams. All right. See you later.